Hey, welcome back to my channel. We have come to the end of Bookmas. Are y'all sad? Probably not. If you've made it thus far and you've been keeping up, thank you. I appreciate you. If you're just here now, you have like 6 more to go watch. I thought today that I would talk about the 2023 goals that I set for myself. Did I meet them? And things in 2024 that I'm also looking forward to. Let's go over my 2023 goals. My first goal, we got to talk about numbers, was 150 books this year. So far, I've read 174. I don't see myself getting to 180. I just have not been reading as much as I plan to because I've been focusing so much on my bookmas videos. But today is the last video. We'll see how that goes. But I did reach it. I read 174. The goal that I was so excited to set for this year was my page count goal, and I ended up setting a goal of 50,000 pages, and I knew it was going to be a little difficult because I didn't quite reach 50,000 last year in 2022, so I wanted to try and hit that this year. And I knew that that would be a little difficult because I don't read long books. I think I average anywhere from like 200 like 20 to like 360. That's like my average, and I think Goodreads tells me that, or Storygraph. So I knew it would be a little difficult, but I did manage to beat it. Right now I'm at 50,966. Again, I still have a couple of more books, but I don't see myself getting to like 52,000. Utilize the library more. I did. I went to the library so much this year, and I even started going inside the library more this year. I usually just put my books on hold. I utilize 2 different libraries, and they both have a drive-through, and they both have drive-throughs where you can also put whatever book you need to return in the slot, so I don't have to go inside at all. But I did start going inside more this year. Work with an author. Sadly, that did not happen. There's always next year. Hit 10K on TikTok. That's voided. I'm just gonna mention it, but I was at 6K on one of my TikToks, my regular readwkc, and I ended up abandoning that TikTok page, TikTok account, because I wasn't really having fun with what I was posting, and I actually had gotten banned at some point. I got it back, and it just wasn't the same. Even before then, I'm glad I got banned, because now I can kind of create a different one. I don't put that much pressure on myself to post there, so I'm having a lot more fun. But that 10K was when I was at 6K with the other one. But I did hit 1K on my newer book account on TikTok, which is readwkc, but instead it has dots. So it's read.w.kc. And then 2K on Instagram. Child, I don't know how Instagram works. I just don't understand their algorithm. I'm still at 1,004 something. I did go up about 200 followers, but not 2K. That's fine. Hey, we'll see if I hit it next year. This next one was to keep better track of my diverse reads. I don't really know where I was going with that necessarily. I think I just meant that I wanted to keep better track of like how many Black authors did I read, how many Latinx authors, Asian authors, Indigenous, and I didn't really keep track like that. I don't really know if I met that goal. I would say no. My next goal was to make money from book content. That did not happen either. There's always next year. I guess I meant like a sponsorship, a partnership, something like that. You know, just one to kind of say, hey, I did it. That didn't happen. Lastly on this was my BIPOC reads of this year surpassed my white reads, and did. Out of 174 books that I've read this year, 149 were BIPOC authors. Majority of them were Black authors. If I did the math correctly, 85% of what I read this year were BIPOC authors. Very proud of myself. We're gonna actually take a look later. Well, I guess we can jump into that now. So one way that I was gonna help myself with diversifying my reading, because I used to read a ton of books by white authors, so I thought this year I would have made a list, I'd say a list, but like a post, a collage of 12 books, one book for each month, that I wanted to read this year that were all BIPOC authors. I will insert a picture. It started off real good, But I think once I got to May of this year, I quickly abandoned this list. I think it's because once I got to May, I didn't need this list to help me diversify my reading. There's still a bunch of books on here that I want to read. The whole point of this, and maybe that shouldn't have been the point, but I thought it would help me in diversifying my reading. I didn't need it. So next, let's jump into the authors that I will be leaving in 2023. It's only a list of 4. Sally Hepworth. Bye. I have only read 2 of her books. I read one this year and one last year. She's not a thriller writer. If you've seen my video where I read 5-star reviews of the worst books of 2023, you would see she's in there. That's why I'm not really going over what I thought were the worst books of 2023, because if you go watch that video, which I think is like Bookmas Day 3, those are most of the books that I read this year that were just bad, in my opinion. Her thrillers don't thrill me at all. Rebecca Yarros. Need I say more? Did I read Fourth Wing this year? Yes. Did I love it? Yes. Should I have read it in the first place? No. I shouldn't have. I think it's because at the time, because I normally look up my authors, and sometimes I don't even have to look them up. I just know. It's just a feeling that I get, and I feel like it's not so much that it was a feeling that I got from the author herself, but a ton of my mutuals that I trust, and I still trust, read this book, and they just kind of convinced me to read it. Do I regret reading it? Honestly, yeah, I do. I do regret reading it. Hayley Kiyoko. Now, she only has 1 book, and I don't know if she is going into the author route or not, because I know that Girls Like Girls was kind of based on her song, Girls Like Girls. Ultimately didn't like the writing, and for some reason, I just don't see her writing getting any better, which is dumb because everybody's writing, I'm assuming, evolves, right? If you compare someone's debut novel to their 20th, I'm sure it's not going to be the same. But I don't know, I just don't really see myself giving her another chance. I hate to do this, but Wanda M. Morris, hear me out. I say that I'm leaving her in 2023. I've read 2 of her books. They were both about 3 stars. I read Anywhere You Run and All Her Little Secrets. Fun fact, this is the very first book that I ever tabbed, but it was these ugly little tabs. The reason why I'm gonna leave her in 2023 for now, if she keeps putting out the same books that she has, I'm just not a fan. It's like, it's too, but there's just not much going on. It's very light, even though the content itself is dark, because it's normally always about like race relations or something. A black lawyer who gets caught in a dangerous conspiracy after the death of her boss. The other book, Anywhere You Run, it's historical. It's a historical thriller. It takes place in Jim Crow South, and 2 sisters are on the run. One is being accused of killing someone, and I forgot why the other one was on the run. Now this book says fast-paced thriller, but they're not fast-paced. I think I'm gonna keep an eye out for her newer books and see maybe if one of them calls to me, but the fact that I've read 2 of her books and they were both around a 3, I don't know, I just don't see myself reading her again. Which brings me into my goals for 2024. Why do I keep doing this? Let's start with social media. I would like to hit 1K on YouTube. That would be nice. I should probably just say 100. I would like to hit 100. I'm still kind of new to YouTube. I've been on here about 6 months. I'm still trying to get the hang of it. It's nice. I've been having fun creating videos. I don't want to put a lot of pressure on myself, but I'd like to hit 1K sometime next year. 5K on TikTok. Again, this is speaking on my new account. But again, no pressure. I think, again, I've been having more fun posting in general, honestly, but especially on my TikTok account, because now I just post when I want. Sometimes I'll go a couple of days without posting. I haven't posted today. I think I posted yesterday, and I post at whatever time I want. I don't really focus on what is the best time to post on TikTok, the best days to post. I don't do that. I always say if you're gonna go viral, you're gonna go viral. Like, it doesn't matter what time you post, honestly. And 2K on Instagram. Next, I would love to score some kind of a sponsorship or partnership in the bookish space. My thing is, if companies were to like reach out, I A, wouldn't believe them, and B, probably wouldn't even respond because I think I was being gypped. I think it was a what do you call it? I've gotten emails before, but it wasn't like a partnership necessarily. It was like a try out this app or something. Get out of here. Next, again, like this year, to read more BIPOC authors next year. To up my goal, so I did 85% of my books read this year. I'll say I want 90% of my books next year to be BIPOC authors. Lastly, this is the goal that I'm actually most excited about after reading more BIPOC authors, but it's to read my Kindle books. I'm not talking about Kindle Unlimited. I mean books that I've purchased, and I say purchased, but most of the books that I have on my Kindle that aren't KU were free. We just had the All Black Book Affair. I got about 24, 25 books. Stuff Your Kindle, I got about 10, 12 books. Deals like when Black Friday happened, or Christmas deals, New Year's deals, whatever. And authors have had like, hey, my book is free for like a day or something. I've gotten a bunch of those, and it's like I get them and I don't read them. This year, I think I've read maybe 2. I'll say 2 books from my Kindle that I purchased. That's it. One thing that I didn't mention this year, but a goal of mine, was to read more of my physical books, and I did. If you saw the books where I talked about all of the owned books that I read, I think it's Bookmas Day 5, then you would see that I definitely accomplished it. I read over 20 books. So next year, I need to try and do that with my Kindle. I think that's it. I may want to do like more goals, but I think I'm good with these for now. This is actually my last video of 2023 as well. I probably won't post again until the first of the year. My last video for Bookmas. I really had fun filming for Bookmas. I'm very glad that I got to do it this year. I hope I get to do it next year. And I think I'm gonna stick with my 7 days. If you saw my first video, I mentioned that it was supposed to be 12 days. And then it was gonna be 8. But then I was like, no, we're gonna do 7. Just do a week. No pressure. No pressure. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in 2024. Hey, that is 4 technically. I'll see you in 2024. Okay, let's do my